All right, so let's check out the step up. It can be a weighted step up or body weight step up. I'm gonna show you both. I'm gonna break it down in this video. And also talk about back pain. Obviously back pain when it comes to the step ups, it's a great exercise. A lot of people do them wrong because it comes down to technique and form and where the load is at and what type of step up that you choose. So I'm gonna go over a few points here that's gonna help you maximize the benefit from the step up while minimizing the symptoms, minimizing the pain, and being able to train smarter. So the first point is what you're using to step up on. A lot of times we default to just kind of what's around us, which is good because you can only be limited to what you have. But oftentimes in like a big box gym, you grab things like this box here. It's like a 24-inch, you can adjust it, but you're limited to how high that box is, right? And this is too much. This angle, and we'll talk about that here in a second, but this is too much for someone who has a history of low back pain. When you go too high in your step, you often run into some issues that can cause some catching, pain, sensitivity. When you have something that is lower, or you can start lower, you have a better opportunity to learn the movement, learn the exercise, and get better at it before you move on to a harder variation. So rule number one is find something that you can manage as far as the height goes. I don't suggest for someone who has a sensitivity right now to try to go past 90. When I say 90 is like here, my hip angle is past 90, right? This is my hip. So my hip angle is past 90. I say start where you have more control. This is probably a little bit lower than 90, but you can start here, master that fundamental movement, and then make it a little bit harder. Being able to do a step up from here isn't gonna make you a better person. It's not gonna make you a stronger person, right? You're just kind of causing a difficulty in the exercise that may not necessarily need to be there. Because what you could do is keep the same box height and just add weight. Add that challenge, right? So you're kind of changing things up and giving your body something to adapt to. Now, the second point is where the load is at. If you're gonna go with the weighted variation of it, I'll grab some dumbbells over here. If you're wanting to go with a weighted variation of step ups, it's all about kind of where the load's at. Depending on how you're going to do your step up, if you're gonna do it where the bench or the box is kind of running parallel to your foot, then this way you can do it is just keeping the weights down by your side. There's no need to do anything else. Now, other variations where you're actually facing the box this way, what tends to happen is our minds think, okay, shift forward to kind of initiate that up movement. So you're kind of like, you throw the weight forward to get up. So we want to try to stay away from that. So what you can do is you can hold it in front of you here, get that forward lean so you're already initiating the movement, right? So I'll kind of show you from the side here. Instead of doing this and swinging into it and then stepping up, right? Swinging into it and stepping up. We're going to hold the weight here, take a slight lean forward. Then once we're kind of in a good balanced place because we're driving off this one leg, I'm going to lean forward, keep that weight close to my body, engage my arms, engage my lats, keep it pulled in tight, and then I'm gonna drive up like this and back down. Lean forward, get that weight over that foot, drive, and come down. The cool thing about doing it with dumbbells and just doing it on step-ups on a single leg in general is that you're not gonna be able to do with so much weight because you're only doing one leg, right? Squatting and single leg type of exercises, two different things when it comes to how much load you're gonna be holding. So that's why I prefer single leg step ups because you can't hold that much weight, but little weight can give you a really good challenge if you're doing it right. All right, so the third and final point on the step ups that you wanna consider when doing these is the form and technique. I'm an advocate for mastering a certain exercise. Before you add weight, before you make it harder to try to change up the variation of it, master it. Do it so well that it is just picture perfect, right? Because oftentimes when we get into this lunge or we get into this step up, we kind of get froggy. We start shaking, we start jumping up, coming down, and kind of coming up, coming down. Whatever variation you're doing, you're kind of coming up and you're kind of jolting down, and you just get super lazy, super flaccid when it comes to your form. So what is super, super critical, and I see more often than honestly anything else I've shown you today, is slowing yourself down, understanding that you're mastering this movement. There's a lot of jarring that could happen. There's a lot of impact coming down and initiating this movement that could cause some just movement in areas that could cause sensitivity. That's kind of what it comes down to. So from here, what I'm gonna do is keeping in mind where the weight's at, keeping it close to me if I'm choosing to do weights. I've got a good box. From there, again, before you go weight, master it. Nice and slow, drive up. And when you're coming down, don't just plop down. Step back and go slow. So there's not a lot going on. Once I'm driving up, everything is still nice and braced, nice and tight, hinging and coming back. That's the key thing. I see too many people start just trying to rush through exercises, kind of just trying to speed it up, get it done, get the reps done and kind of move on. That jarring and that impact over time with weight can cause an increase in sensitivity. So train smarter, train with more control, with more wisdom, and master the exercises before you move on.